It was 1967. 15 million Americans were watching a live television broadcast when a 350-pound professional wrestler named Big Boris Petrov wrapped his arm around Bruce Lee's neck and lifted him off the ground as if he weighed nothing. The host froze, the audience held their breath, and somewhere in the control room, a producer's hand trembled over the emergency cutoff switch. What happened in the next 4 seconds would become the most controversial moment in talk show history, so controversial that the network deleted all recordings and officially denied it ever happened, until now. The reluctant star. Bruce Lee didn't want to do the show. It was a Tuesday afternoon in Los Angeles, and his manager had been pressuring him for weeks to accept the invitation. The Milton Cole Show was one of the most watched programs in the country, boasting 15 million viewers every week. A single appearance could turn an unknown into a celebrity overnight. "I don't need publicity stunts," Bruce said calmly. "I need serious students." "You have 20 students," his manager replied. "You could have 2,000. You could have your own studio. You could have everything you've been fighting for." Bruce paced back and forth in his small Chinatown office, the floorboards creaking under his steps. The walls were covered with photographs. Bruce training students, demonstrating techniques, competing in tournaments. Every image was a reminder of the same thing. He wasn't looking for fame. He was building a path, and that path, sooner or later, was going to demand a sacrifice. Everything he had built alone, no gifts, no sponsors, no shortcuts. Every student, every dollar, every inch of respect had been earned with sweat. But as much as he hated to admit it, his manager was right. The school wasn't growing fast enough. Expenses were rising, his savings were thinning, and at home, Linda was pregnant with their second child. The responsibility was no longer just his. He needed stability, he needed income. Bruce remained silent for a few seconds. "Fine," he finally said. "One appearance. I demonstrate some techniques, answer a few questions, and I leave." His manager smiled. "Perfect. Milton will love you." Bruce narrowed his eyes. "Who else will be on the show?" There was a brief pause. "Who else?" Bruce repeated. His manager looked away. "They want to do a segment comparing martial arts with other fighting styles." "What styles?" "Wrestling." Bruce stopped dead in his tracks. "They want me to face a wrestler on live television? It's just a demonstration, nothing serious." Bruce didn't answer. "Who is the wrestler?" His manager looked at the floor. "Boris Petrov. The Giant and the Dragon." The name fell like a dead weight in the room. Boris Petrov was no ordinary wrestler. He stood over 6 feet 6 inches, weighed 350 pounds, and was a mass of muscle, bone, and violence. He had been a Soviet weightlifting champion before defecting to the United States in 1962. Afterward, he reinvented himself as a professional wrestler, adopting the role of the villain with an unsettling naturalness. His signature move was known as the bear hug. He would encircle the opponent's torso, lift them off the ground, and squeeze. He squeezed until the air vanished. He squeezed until the body gave way. In his entire career, no one had ever escaped that grip once applied. But Boris wasn't just a character. Unlike many wrestlers who followed scripts and simulated punishment, Boris had a reputation for truly hurting people. He had fractured ribs, dislocated shoulders, and shattered jaws. In the last year alone, 3 men had left the ring straight for the hospital. Some never wrestled again. The Federation tolerated him for one reason. He drew crowds. People paid to see him destroy people. It was entertainment, but the pain was real. Bruce had heard of him. Everyone in the martial arts world had. For years, Boris had publicly mocked martial artists, calling them dancers, acrobats, and frauds incapable of handling a real fighter. Bruce looked up. "Why him?" "The producers think it will be good TV." The contrast. The small martial artist against the giant wrestler. Bruce clenched his jaw. "They're setting me up to fail." "They're setting you up to be seen by 15 million people," his manager countered. Bruce didn't respond, but inside, something had already begun to ignite. He thought of Linda, the baby on the way, the bills piling up on his desk, and everything that was at stake. "What does Boris think of this?" he asked. He accepted immediately. Bruce looked down at his hands, small, wiry, and hardened by years of silent training. He weighed barely 140 pounds. Boris outweighed him by more than 200. On paper there was no fight, but paper didn't know Bruce Lee. Behind the scenes, Mr. Lee, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for having me. Milton stepped a bit closer. I must tell you, the public is very excited about tonight's segment. Very excited. Bruce held his gaze. What exactly is the plan for the demonstration? Milton made a dismissive gesture. Nothing complicated. You show some techniques, then we bring out Boris and see how martial arts work against wrestling. 5 or 6 minutes. Is it scripted? Milton let out a short laugh. Scripted? No, we want it to be authentic. Real. Bruce didn't like the sound of that. Boris is already here. He's in his dressing room. You can meet him before the show if you'd like. I'll pass. For the first time, Milton's smile wavered. As you wish. On air at 8 o'clock. Be ready. Bruce was left alone on the stage. He observed the rows of empty seats. Soon they would be filled with people hungry for a spectacle, people who weren't coming to learn but to see someone fall. He felt a heavy, persistent sense of foreboding that was hard to ignore, but it was too late to back out now. By 7:30, the studio was full. 300 voices murmuring at once, laughter, bets, expectation. Many had come exclusively for Boris Petrov. They were expecting blood. Bruce waited backstage, stretching, breathing, keeping his body loose. A production assistant approached him. Mr. Lee, 5 minutes. Then he hesitated. Can I tell you something? Go ahead. The man lowered his voice. Boris Petrov doesn't want the 4-second legend. It's not a demonstration. He told the producers he wants a real fight. He wants to humiliate you on live television. Bruce didn't blink. Did the producers agree? The assistant nodded slowly. They didn't say no. They think it'll be good for the ratings. Bruce clenched his jaw. Thank you for telling me. The assistant hurried away. Bruce closed his eyes for a moment. He wasn't about to give a demonstration. He was about to enter a war. He understood. There would be no performance, only an ambush. He had 2 choices. Turn around, walk away, and protect his name, his body, and his future. Or go out there and show the world what martial arts truly meant. The assistant's voice boomed over the speakers. Mr. Lee, to the stage. 2 minutes. Bruce inhaled deeply, exhaled slowly, and walked toward the light. Milton Cole appeared amid rehearsed applause. Good evening, welcome to the Milton Cole Show. The audience responded with cheers. Milton raised a hand. Tonight, we explore the ancient art of Kung Fu. Please welcome our guest, martial arts instructor, Bruce Lee. Bruce stepped onto the stage. The applause was polite and correct, but lacked passion. In the eyes of many, he was just another exotic guest, nothing more. Milton began with soft questions. Where did he come from? How did he start? What do martial arts really teach? Bruce spoke with serenity about philosophy, discipline, and the harmony between mind, body, and spirit. He spoke of self-knowledge and control. After several minutes, Milton gave a sidelong smirk, a different kind of smile. I understand that tonight you will give us a demonstration against a professional fighter. That's right, Bruce replied. Milton turned to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Boris Petrov. The studio exploded. Applause, shouts, whistles. Boris entered as if the floor belonged to him. Massive, heavy, dominant. Every step seemed like a challenge. His eyes didn't look for Milton. They went straight to Bruce. I didn't come to talk, he growled. I came to show what a real fight looks like. Milton pointed to the demonstration area. Gentlemen, please. Bruce walked calmly. Boris stepped up behind him. They stood face to face. For an instant there was only silence. Bruce opened his mouth to say something, but he didn't get the chance. Boris's hand shot out. Giant fingers wrapped around Bruce's neck. He lifted him off the ground like a doll. The audience screamed. Some stood up. This is what I think of martial arts, Boris roared. Just dancing. In the control room, a trembling hand reached for the emergency switch, but no one pressed it because something unexpected was happening. Bruce Lee was smiling. Bruce felt no fear, no rage, he felt clarity. The world became simple. His fingers slid to Boris's wrist. They found exactly what they were looking for. Pressure points, nerves, angles. Bruce pressed, not with strength but with precision. Boris's fingers flew open. The grip broke. Bruce dropped to the floor and moved. Before Boris could react, a front kick snapped out, stopping 1 centimeter from his throat. The studio fell into absolute silence. Bruce spoke in a calm voice. "If this were real, you would already be dead." And in that instant everything changed. The studio was plunged into an unnatural, heavy silence. Boris charged. Bruce slid out of the line of attack. A palm strike directly to the ear, a dry impact, a clean sweep. 350 pounds lost their balance and crashed into the floor. The audience gasped. Boris rolled and got back to his feet, red with fury. Bruce advanced. A kick to the sternum, a spinning elbow to the jaw. Absolute precision. Boris Petrov fell. This time there were no screams, no applause, only silence. "Cut the feed!" they shouted from the control room. The image froze, then went pitch black. A message appeared on screens across the country. "We are experiencing technical difficulties." 15 million people stared at their televisions, confused. On stage, Bruce looked at the fallen man, not with contempt or pride, but with calm. "There is no shame in losing to someone who trained harder than you," he said. "The shame is believing that size and strength are enough." Bruce turned and left. For seconds, that was all the real confrontation lasted. For seconds that would never be broadcast again. That same night, the order was given. Destroy all tapes, erase every record. The network would claim it never happened. Boris was paid to keep quiet. Milton Cole never mentioned it again. But 300 people saw it. And those 300 people talked, whispered, exaggerated, and remembered. With every retelling, the story grew. Bruce never told Linda. It wasn't necessary. He knew it didn't matter. Some truths don't need to be defended. They live on their own. They can destroy the tape, he told his manager, but not what the people saw. And he was right. Because some stories are too powerful to be buried. Some legends